Yes, mugamba mutya babikwano mwena gye muli eyo. Olwaleero nzize n'amawulire. Oyinza okuba ng'oyagala okugawulira oba otayagala kugawulira. Naddala abaana abali e Saudi Arabia. Bw'oba oli e Saudi Arabia, gano amawulire gago. Gano amawulire gago njagala ogatwalire ddala gashiyalingire ku munno. Uganda government esazeewo eggulewo ofiisi ekola ku bya passport nga bw'olaba onoogenda ku internal affairs n'oprocessinga passport yo awo wennyini mu Riyadh muneeno bagguddemu ofiisi egenda okuba ng'ekola ku ebyo. Munnayuganda gwe passport yo yakubulako, passport yo baagiwambira mu kiyumba, passport yo yaggwako eri expired, passport yo togitegeere eyinza okuba nga erimu ebitategeereka. Ke kaseera ogende ku ofiisi eno otereeza ebintu bya passport yo ebyokutambula byo bisobole okuba nga bibeera birungi.
Greetings from the Minister of Internal Affairs, as usual. I have a few items to brief you about, and to begin with is the good news that Passport Office is again opening a new diaspora office in Saudi Arabia, capital Riyadh. This is as a result of the demand, which is enormous over that side. We have got a number of Ugandans who have been having issues, processing their passport renewals. Many of them have been trekking long distances to Dubai, and some of them have been come to Uganda. So because of the demand, we have responded, and we're opening a diaspora office in Riyadh, capital of Saudi Arabia, to handle Ugandans who are working and living in that part of the world. We care about Ugandans. We love Ugandans in the diaspora, and we do respect the fact that these people have lots of work. They don't have the time, and we want to, as much as possible, ensure that passport processing for them is seamless, like it is elsewhere. This opening of Saudi Arabia passport office will bring it to a number of diaspora offices to, I think, 8. We have one in London, we have one in Washington, DC, we have one in Copenhagen, Denmark, we have one in Pretoria, South Africa, we have another one in Ottawa, Canada, we have another one in Beijing, China, we have another one in Abu Dhabi. So we have been having 7 diaspora passport offices, but of course, as you know, these are not enough, and they are not sufficient to handle our population in that side of the world. So because of the enormous demand, and of course, this demand is driven by the numbers. We look at the numbers. We originally wanted to open it in Turkey, but we compared Turkey and Saudi, and we realized that the numbers in Saudi Arabia of Ugandans who are working there is quite big. So, and because we want to reach as many Ugandans as possible, we had to consider opening one there. So starting July this year, I think a month to go, plans are underway. We are almost ready, and we have already prepared the infrastructure, the machinery, and even including the manpower to go and work in that part of the world. So because of the love we have for our Ugandans there and the care, we have opened this office, and we shall effectively offer the service there. We call upon Ugandans who are living in Saudi Arabia and around the neighboring places to utilize that office to have their passports renewed. Some time back, I did mention something to do with people who have lost their passports, especially in Saudi, parts of Dubai, and generally UAE, not to go to the diaspora office to track the journey back home to have their passports replaced on account of the too much complaints we had about people who were actually selling passports and then running to our office claiming that these passports are lost. So we urge Ugandans, first of all, to utilize those offices, especially for those who are genuinely renewing their passports, and for those who have lost their passports, to at least ensure that they have reported to police, one, and two, that their cases are genuine, so that we get rid of these fraudsters who have been selling and buying our passports in that part of the world. Second, passports, we are in the process of acquiring what we refer to as mobile enrollment kits. And these are going to help many Ugandans who cannot make it to the ministry headquarters to carry out enrollment, especially the emergency cases. For instance, the sick. We have people who need to process passports to travel out of the country on medical grounds, but they are hospitalized, they cannot make it to the enrollment center. So these are kits that will be operated by our officers. They move to that part and capture the patient, and such a person will have a passport processed even without having to move to the headquarters. But this is also going to help people who live in the diaspora, especially in the United States of America, which is a big country. We have so many states which are far and wide, and it would be difficult for these people to move long distances, difficult and expensive. So what we are going to do, once we acquire these kits, it will be our staff to keep moving to the clients. You see, this is part of the care and the love we have for our people who live in the diaspora. Because we respect the fact that they are busy, one, they are contributing enormously to the economy by the serious remittances they are making back home. So we don't want to waste their time. We do not want to inconvenience them. We want to ensure that their passport renewals is as seamless as possible. We are investigating a fraudster in the names of Angela of Kenya. This lady is based in Washington, USA, and she has got Ugandan agents. This scheme is led by this lady, and she has been stealing money and including passports from Ugandan citizens under the false promises of processing US work visas, and in the, you know how our people can easily get lured and attracted to schemes of, especially if they hear something like visas, work permits, for especially the US. So many Ugandans have fallen victims, and this lady, one Angela of Kenya, now in Washington, is under investigation. She has, of course, she has been operating under a company known as Angie B Consultants. This is based in the US, but we are in touch with the authorities over there, and we are investigating. Very soon we shall have her to answer to these very serious crimes. The agents she's working with include one Moses Alina Itwe, based in Uganda, Brian S. Mukisa, Agnes, we have only one name of Agnes, Obadia Mamli, and then Frederick Kalema Musoke. All of these are the local agents. These are the people who move around promising Ugandans of US work permits and visas, and hence collecting money from them and also picking their passports. Once these Ugandans submit their passports, these people then forward these passports to this Angela of Kenya, who lives in Washington and has been selling these passports. One would then ask, how can somebody who is not the owner of that passport be able to use it? These passports are not for travel purposes. They are for selling drugs. You see, if you have drugs in that place, they first ask you to identify yourself by way of a passport. And as you know, those people cannot differentiate between us. So one is able to use that passport for purposes of selling the drugs, not actually using them for travel purposes. Because our passports, as you know, have biometric features like fingerprints, like the iris, which cannot allow any other person who does not actually hold that passport to use it. So we hope. One is Makilina Agaba. The passport is gone. Passport number A000-80282. She lost that passport to this scheme of fraudsters. We have Calvin Agaba, passport number 800-89442. Passport is also gone. We have Victor Baitwa's daughter. Passport gone. We have Florence Nakaziwe's 2 daughters. The passports are taken by this scheme. We have Barbara Nasanga. We have Brenda Nasali, George Chivumbi, and Vivian Kalisa. These people have been charging between $3,000 to $5,000 per person, of course, under the false promises of obtaining work permits. And then after they pay the money, they are again forced to surrender their passports, which Angela Kenya and her agents refuse to return. So I want to caution Ugandans, especially those with the intentions of traveling out for purposes of acquiring labor, to be very careful. One, to do some due diligence on these companies that are masquerading as migrant workers company with very sweet promises of taking them out to help them acquire visas of US and other countries. Be very careful, especially if they start asking for money. I would request you and guide that if you want to know if some of these people are genuine, you have got to go to Ministry of Gender and Labor to find out if this country, if this company is 1, registered, 2, allowed to transact in the labor migration, so that you are able to deal with people who are known and registered by government of Uganda. But in most cases, our people get excited when somebody mentions a US visa, a US work permit, a US this, a US citizenship, and they quickly fall victim to these schemes. So please do some background checks about these companies and the individuals behind these companies. You find that some of them even have registered companies, but they registered them for purposes of defrauding Ugandans. So be very, very careful when dealing with these matters of especially going out of the country to look for labor. I would like to bring to the notice of Ugandans, especially our clients who seek for services at the ministry, that we now have 2 centers at the ministry headquarters processing passport. One is for enrollment, that is the ministry headquarters. You apply for your passport, you apply for your work permit for non-Ugandans. Where you are captured, fingerprints is, you have got to come to ministry headquarters. That is done there. Now, once the passport is ready, for instance, and you have received a message to pick that passport, our passport collection center is premised at Chambogo, opposite, I think, Ministry of Works and Transport. That place used to house permits. There was a company called Face Technologies there, which I think later moved. Then we took over it. That is a very spacious place where passports are picked. And normally, when you go there, you find very friendly staff, including police officers, immigration officers, and other people who are willing to help you at no extra fee. So once you pay for your passport, 250,000, and you have received a message of picking up this passport, please kindly don't come to ministry headquarters on Old Portbell Road. Head to Chambogo, former Face Technology office, to have your passport picked. Because we have had so many cases of people, again, after receiving messages coming to headquarters. And you know, headquarters is, handles so many issues, handles work permit for foreigners. Now, in a bid to decongest the place, we had to open that place in Chambogo. And indeed, we have decongested the place. If you come there now, the very crazy long queues that used to characterize that place are no longer there. So all you have to do is please go to Chambogo and pick your passport. A passport now takes only 5 working days. This is a standard passport. An express one takes 2 working days. 2 working days. If you processed one on Friday, for instance, you count Friday, you count Monday, then Tuesday, you are good to go and pick your passport. I once again want to discourage our clients from using third parties. This we refer to as brokers. The process is simple. We have demystified passport processing and applications. It is done online. You pick by you yourself. In most cases, we have had people who get problems using third parties to apply for passport. And because these brokers don't want to waste time, they will fill in the information they want, the information they think is quick for them to process passport. And then you end up having 2 mothers, 1 mother at